Hey, listen, I just want to call out one person.
And I hate myself a lot.
But stuff. You're getting punched in the dick.
There needs to be more Street Shark references.
I say who?
That's funny as hell.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Underqualified and Overcompensated podcast.
Where's my face?
Shut up, I'm getting there. I was going to be all like surprising, like pop up like, ah! You guys fucking ruined it.
Rude.
I am your host with the least most, Rose.
Hey, that's Rose.
Always here, always in the back of your mind, maybe in your dreams, only if you're nice. Rico, always in my dreams and in my heart. The gun-toting brown American. And we're canceled. And Facebook shut us down. Actually, be careful because that's a thing. You're not allowed to show guns in your
I was
videos.
just about to say, I was like, that might be a thing.
I didn't show anything.
That was
talking about.
That was the end of a broom.
That's my
With our scope
airsoft.
on it.
I'm a huge avid airsoft player.
It's a sparkler.
And
That's my
below
influence.
us, as always, the power bottom of the eternity, always down, coddling what needs to be coddled, cupping it up.
I'm here for
The
you.
new, the improved Corporal Firth.
Oh, yeah. That's me.
Welcome.
No one cares.
I care.
Thank you, Rico.
No one.
That's me.
cares.
Lateral promotions up the ass.
The rank that you get when they don't know what to do.
Well, you haven't done this, so here's
Yeah,
that.
they're like, well, we can't promote them like legitimately, but we need people to like kind of respect them and like understand why we're sending them to the training room in S1. So
Yeah. I think you just defined that position.
yeah, the other three NCOs don't want to keep escorting soldiers up to S1, so they're like, fuck, we need an NCO adjacent person.
Hey, Firth. Hey, welcome up there. Hey, that's a cross. It's hot outside. They're just like, yeah, that's why we're staying inside.
Yeah, that's why we're inside. You guys done PMCS yet?
Yep. Those are tires.
I can't wait.
This thing's gonna fall apart on the way back to America shortly.
So, yo, was it you, Rico, who when I was like, hey guys, I got laterally promoted to corporal, and I think Rico was like, hey, congrats, you get to stand out with a monster and watch people PMCS. I
What was
laughed
bad
so-
as I laughed, but then I remembered all the times I did that.
Yeah. So I was laughing at it, and my wife is like, "What's funny?" And I showed her. She's like, "What's funny?" I was like, "Oh, you dummy."
You civilian. I mean, you know, we do what we do.
It's great. I loved it. It was so great. Anyway, that's enough talking about me.
That's enough talking about you.
So
we've had a pretty good
yeah,
podcast.
Yeah,
We've almost doubled our followers and likes.
true. 14K on the Doc Joe episode alone. No big deal.
The fucking
Oh.
it was at 6,000
who?
when we finished
who?
with the Dr. Joe Jorgensen, the Libertarian presidential candidate for
I
2020.
think she's the one that cleared my
That's
background
crazy.
check to get my 308 today. She already fulfilled her
That's
first
not how that
campaign
works at
promise.
all. But
Hey, Vintner, have fun. He's going on a trip.
Vinder's about to enjoy himself.
Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, Dr.
get it.
Joe would say it's okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me like do some strobe lights in the background.
Let me take a first drink of my first drink of the night.
First one.
It's very good of you, you know. Always
Yeah,
follow
no,
the rules.
the
You don't have to set an example.
The JoJo episode has gone above and beyond. People have been sharing it, which I fucking love. You guys have been awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. The amount of love that we've been getting, the comments, you guys have been having conversations in the comments of the videos, which is awesome.
I'm just walking down the street, people are saying, "Hey, you're Rico," and then they just like start and they embrace me. Stop, guys. Corona, 6 feet away. You could love me from far away.
I'm just having a lot of men come up and cup my testicles and then come in real close and whisper in my ear.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with this podcast.
Oh no!
Leave your grinder and meetings out of this.
Is that just me?
That's just. Oh God! What is it? Wednesday? Oh, okay. Come on.
This is a normal day in Walmart.
Yep.
Oh my God! I miss Walmart so much. I miss it so much.
You really wouldn't right now.
Oh,
The
brother!
fucking war zone.
That's true. I forgot what times we were living in.
Yeah, it's a fucking war zone. Every time I go into Walmart, I'm waiting for a Karen meltdown. Not because I want to get involved. I just want to watch one live.
Just lay it. We're going live at this Walmart. Underqualified, never compensated.
I just see a Karen just losing it.
Oh,
in this,
yeah.
After
Because-
COVID, this AC time we're living in.
Oh yeah, because they come after me on a daily basis because I'm a door screener for the hospital, so I have to tell people they can't come in. Super fun. Oh yeah, I'm staying outside in PTs with a bullshit thermometer, like taking temperatures, and they don't work. I've been 97.3 for the past ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Apparently. And like I'll take someone's temperature, it'll be like 93. And I'm like, I know that's not right because that's hypothermia. 100 degrees outside.
It's Texas in August.
Yes.
And they're just like 78. And you're just like, all right, continue.
Oh, I've stopped caring. I just take it.
Before.
Unless it goes off over 100, I don't fuck around with it. But so this is the thing. So people walk up, I have to take the temperature, and here's my spiel. You want to hear it? It's fucking great. It's 15 seconds of your life.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, you ready? So take the temperature, and I go, have you been experiencing any nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, lost sense, taste of smell? Have you been outside the country in the last 14 days or been in contact with a COVID positive individual? And they say, no. And I go, cool. Have a good fucking day. And they pass me. The amount of people I have come up to me who are obviously frequent flyers and go, no. And I'm like, you know, and I know that I have to say it fucking anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be a prick. Or as I ask these questions, someone will say yes. And I'm like, okay, get the fuck out, go get tested.
Something I would like
they'll
to
cut
add
me
at this
off.
point.
What?
So as someone who has to do this with Germans, and you go, excuse me, do you have any of these symptoms? And they go, and they know what you're asking, but they're going, in their mind, they're going, yes, I understand. They go, yeah. And you go,
You're like,
excuse me. And they're like, yeah. And you're just like,
oh, yeah. So I have to ask them, are you a visitor or a patient today? Because it's a no visitor policy at the hospital.
Mm.
So that means that, Rico, you come with your two children. The appointment is for you. Your children. Yeah, well, you come in with your two guns. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. we just saw his two children.
Yes. You come in with your two kids. It's for your appointment. Your kids can't go in with you.
Mm.
You have to take them to the daycare, which is in the hospital. And then you go to your appointment, you come back and you pick them up and you leave. But if the daycare is closed, which is after 13:30, you can't go to your appointment with your kids, which means I have to tell people that they can't go in the hospital. And they're like, well, what do I do? It's like, reschedule your shit. I don't know. And then they yell at me like I woke up this morning going, you know what I really want to do today?
Hey, Cody.
Inconvenience people.
Cody, you're about to be a staff sergeant, and that's how they're using you.
Hey, points. Yeah, true.
And I'm a medic. I
Points
am
are
the
fit.
only medic on this detail. I am with
I'm just
X-ray
saying.
techs, preventive med, lab techs, and pharmacy techs.
Hey,
Not saying that those jobs aren't also highly qualified jobs,
hey, Cody.
but I think there's a better use for me.
Cody, how many of them have their E EFMB?
None.
Really?
So 0 people on that task have EFMD there.
None that I know of. I don't think so. But all of them would be able to pass.
Yeah. He's just like, I read the book. It's easy. I just memorized the steps. You're like, shut up, nerd.
Who reads shit?
They're badge protecting, all right?
Yeah, all right. 31, 31, 31.
It's
Can't go down
terrible.
any further.
But yeah, on a daily basis, I've talked to 5 colonels over the phone because apparently military wives just have colonels on speed dial.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and then they go, "Why aren't you allowing her in?" I'll be like, "Because my colonel trumps your colonel."
What a ridiculous statement.
It's all ridiculous.
This whole thing.
I had a lady, like, I was explaining to her the no policy. She's like, "That doesn't make sense." And I was like, "Yes." And she looked at me and she's like, I was like, "Man, we both know this is nonsense. It's just I am required by, like, SOP to follow this."
You know what I do?
What the fuck does soap have to do with anything with this?
I was like, I have to follow this. I have no choice.
I listen to your whole spiel, and whenever I've stopped doing these temp check things so far, but when I was doing it, hey, how you feeling today? All right, thanks.
when you're at the PX, that's fine. But since we're at the hospital, I have colonels and majors and sergeant majors coming through every day, and I don't know if any of them are hospital affiliated. So they could be coming in just to test us and make sure that we're doing the right thing, which has happened in the past. Or someone gets through and then they go to their appointment and then they ask the same questions when they're at their appointment. They go, "Yeah, no, I have a sore throat." And they're like, "How the fuck did they get through the door screening?"
Oh my God.
They lied.
Put him in a yes, exactly. I'm here for my knee. I'm here for my knee appointment.
Yes. And they had a sore throat and they want to get their appointment done, but then they're in the presence of a fucking doctor and they go, "Yes, I have all of this." And then they come to me and like, "How did this person get through with their kid?" I'm like, "They fucking lied to me. That's how."
And they're like, "Sergeant,
I'm not the Gestapo. I'm not going to fucking interview people at the goddamn door." But
we've talked about this.
I digress.
can't. Yes.
Yes.
We're getting into our personal stuff. Yes.
Yes. But that's basically what I do on a regular daily basis. So.
That's crazy. I get laterally promoted.
Congratulations.
Shut the fuck up, Roger Sergeant.
Congratulations.
Oh man.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
So last week was pretty crazy.
Hell yeah.
The last 2 weeks have been crazy.
I get that because
was...
I didn't get to speak to Spike, which is a very confusing sentence.
The dog from Rugrats?
Yeah, exactly. Their last name was Pickles. That's ridiculous. Anyway, we got to talk to the lady who's running for president, and I think what did she tell us at the end of that? She was like, "Oh yeah, I was only slotted for like 20 minutes with you guys." She talked to us for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, she gave us like at least double the time.
So I thought that she was slotted for an hour. I was incorrect.
She was only slotted for a half
20
hour.
minutes.
Well, she was slotted for a half hour the first time, and then she bailed.
Yeah, and then shit happened.
She had a thing.
What is my wife talking about?
I don't know. What's going on?
She's just random 9.
Why are you using your safe words?
Buffy. Our safe word is platypus.
Pineapple!
That's weird. But yeah, so she was slotted for 20 minutes. And she said that she was enjoying herself. So she went overtime, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been more appreciative for her willing to come onto the show. And because I get it. It's big because it's a libertarian. Oh. My wife was Spike, Buffy. I get it.
Hey, this is the Buffy cast.
But like it was big because it was the libertarian presidential candidate for 2020. Super big for us. Like
huge.
Some people
huge.
Wouldn't see as such, but I think it is someone who's running for president. And even I think what's her approval right now?
Geez, don't put me on the spot like that. I don't know. I approve.
Even if she gets was it Gary Johnson's approval from last year or the last election, which was what 3%?
It depends. It depends when Gary Johnson was like, "Oh, just a libertarian running," and then he opened his mouth and people went, "Oh, he's a fucking ignorant
if you're
asshole."
About, even if they have just 1%, that's like 3 million people. So that's 3 million people that are supporting this person, and then you get up in the responses, and so to me that's huge. I think that's awesome. Of course, would it have been a bigger momentous moment or a higher profile, I guess, if it was one of the two main candidates? Of course. But that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to give someone who isn't seen as that amount of like platform respect.
Yes. And that's
she should be on the same plane.
Brother, like, could you imagine her on the stage with those two? And I'm not saying like
it won't happen, but I hope it happens. No. Don't never let it happen.
She came across so intelligent and so well spoken. And exactly.
Like she wasn't actively having a stroke.
We were having a conversation. I had a conversation with her that I have had at work with just fellow coworkers and people talking about politics. And I've had jokes. That was amazing. She came across so real. And hold on. And let me tell you, all of you, these two are like, oh, I'm a libertarian. I'm this and that, and I'm drinking the tea and stuff like that. I'm not. I am a Republican. I am a conservative Republican. And this person, man, I had a conversation with this person, and I was like, I am having a conversation with a real person, not a politician. And I'm not just someone
with platforms or
just a speaking point
ideas.
It was something else.
So I'm not going to ask who you're going to vote for, but did it at least open your mind to the
100%?
Okay,
100%.
Which is ultimately what we were going for. It was
100%. Because
I was always a libertarian. I've always identified myself as an independent, and I am now more on the libertarian side because I finally found. I've always had these ideals, but I finally found a name that goes with my ideals.
But that's what I feel like her and I had a brief conversation about because the Libertarian Party and Cody, I know you think of this Libertarian Party as in the middle, and it's not. The Libertarian Party is Republicans who feel like the party has left them behind.
But it's also
they're not
progressive Democrats, but there are Democrats on that side, though.
How?
Because
Democrats want to expand the government. They think big government knows best.
But you're looking at it from the whole, just as like people look at it as the whole of the conservative party. There's always the fringe on the outside. So there's fringe liberals and fringe conservatives who identify with the libertarian policy because there's Democrats who support the Second Amendment and, abolishing certain things.
They should.
Just as they do with, pro-choice and other stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're more on that side. The Libertarian Party pulls those people from the left.
They might.
That agree with the right side and people from the right that agree with the left side. And it pulls them in. That's why I say they're in the middle. Because
I don't agree with that. I don't. I think that might be a few far between. But the Libertarian Party is Republicans who that party has left behind. And that's why, like, when she was just saying, she said certain things that spoke to me as a Republican.
Mm-hmm. But I am a Republican because they don't.
I will sit there and go, oh, what's your political party? I'm a conservative Republican. I don't care what your response is to that. That's how I identify myself. I'm not a libertarian. But talking to this person was extremely enlightening.
But I think that's because the libertarians are, I wouldn't say the best. Strong just said the best of both worlds. But I think they appeal on the major points to both sides. I think that's why I say that it's in the middle. And not because it's so freedom for the person that it also has like-minded thoughts on the left side as it does the right side. Because like with her, she's pro-choice, even though she doesn't necessarily agree with it personally, because due to libertarian values, it's freedom of choice.
Yes.
Right? That caters to the left side. over
I
the
thought
right.
I thought that was such a good, and that's why I wanted to get to that question, is because she's sitting there going like, here is my personal opinion.
Mhm.
However, because I fall within this party, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you can and cannot do. That's so freeing.
Well, yeah, and I've always thought that, because as long as it doesn't impede upon me, you do you. I don't agree with it, but
That's fine. Why does the government and
it doesn't cause harm? And people could say that, on the abortion part, that it does cause harm to the person, and that's where I disagree with the pro-choice part. But that is their body, their life. They're not necessarily their body, but it's a nuanced thing. But
at the end of the day, why does the government have to get involved in it? And that's her thought, is I have this personal opinion. However, why does the government have to reflect my individual opinion? And just that honesty. That honesty at that moment, and that's why I wanted to get to that question, was so enlightening. I mean that. I don't mean to be like, vote for this person. I don't give a shit.
We don't endorse any candidate. We just are discussing our opinions.
Thank you so much, Rico. Thank you so much for that.
Rico with the late night medication overtone.
She was
podcast not supporting a candidate, does not endorse anyone.
We need the micro machines guy. Remember him when he would just tell you like,
please don't take after midnight, may cause anal leakage.
Yeah, in 40 seconds he would tell you 2.5 minutes of what could kill you.
But no, I agree with you. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm on the libertarian bandwagon.
I know you are,
and it's because I agree with so many of the things, just as I would if I always kind of considered myself as an independent and I lean more conservatively. And now that I've found the Libertarian Party, I've now found a label to kind of throw on that, because that's pretty much where I've been riding for most of the years. But also, there are certain things within the Libertarian Party that I don't necessarily agree with.
Like
the all drugs are good thing.
So that is something that as soon as
something I have an issue with.
Yep, I do too. And I get the party stance, because the Libertarian Party is very much for
they can't be liberty for all but drugs. I mean,
I'm okay with it. It just leads to natural selection.
I mean, it does, but
is that their idea though?
But also, I think it's just because I see those other drugs as like way more taboo. Someone just doing heroin freely. But also, if you've been certain places, like I'm sure Rico's seen it, living where he's lived. In certain places, if you're on a subway in New York or in a certain place, you will just see people doing heroin on the street, just doing their thing.
So I've never actually seen anyone do heroin.
No, I saw it in D.C.
I've seen a lot of people with the nods in Grand Central Station in New York, but I got there just at the moment where they'd already taken their heroin.
I do not care for ASMR, Rico. Okay.
But so I have an issue with the all drugs, but then
I agree.
I think it's just the premise of it, because then when you think about it, is it going to make it to where there's more drugs? No, I don't think so.
There are people creating new drugs all the time.
Yeah,
at this point,
I don't think it's going to make it to where there's more, or it might be less hidden at that point. But I don't think it's going to open it up, because the people that are doing drugs, or even like kids, is a main concern because of my kids.
That's different.
Is it going to make it to where it's more prevalent? Like they're more likely going to do it? No, because they'll still know that it's bad.
So I just listened to a podcast about the smoking. About the FDA getting involved with smoking and nicotine in the 90s. And it's a fantastic podcast about how the tobacco industry lied for so long about nicotine not being addictive and just not giving a shit. And they knew it was, but they said that it wasn't. And so is that the next battle? Is the government needing to come in? I mean, obviously, yes, we all know cocaine is addictive. Why? Because it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Don't do it.
Don't do it. If you come
I think-
across it and you're
I-
concerned, just send it to me and I'll get rid of it for you.
I think that information is so prevalent now that it's, people know that marijuana isn't as bad as like Dare made it seem,
Yes,
right?
100%.
Cocaine and
Yes.
heroin and
Yes.
all of that shit
Yes.
is, and I don't
Yes.
think keeping it illegal is going to make it stay that way. I think if you just make it legal, people are still going to know that it fucking sucks. And people that
Well,
are going to do it are still going to do it.
Oh,
If it's
marijuana?
legal, though,
No.
and
Marijuana.
you're not tying up.
No, I'm
Marijuana's
talking about
garbage.
heroin and stuff.
Oh, so one, legalizing marijuana, legalize marijuana, and then you're all going to be like, oh, finally we can do it, and you'll do it, and you'll be like, oh, this is terrible. I don't understand what all the hype was about.
I just
Mar-
want to use CBD for my joints. That's all I
which,
want.
Oh
which is in the
my
amendment
God.
now. It's in the amendment
Oh,
is in there.
I'm fucking.
Yes.
It hasn't been passed. Make sure
Yes.
if there's any Army people watching or listening later on, sign your counseling before you do it.
Oh my God.
Don't just show up with rolled sleeves one day because you get in trouble.
Wait until you're briefed before you do it, because 100% some commander's gonna piss test you and then make you sign it. But I mean, that's a big thing for me. I just saw a doctor the other day that took MRIs of my joints. I walked into his office and he's like, dude, your joints are fucked.
And you went, Roger, I've been in the Army for 8 years.
Oh yeah, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I have a meeting with the rheumatologist next week to see if like it's arthritis or whatever. But he's like, you have micro tears all over your tendons and joints.
Oh,
Welcome.
sorry. Hold on. Let me get the right finger
Yeah,
up.
he's like, you have
Oh.
micro tears in every joint in my body,
Hey,
all over
hey.
my knees and my elbows.
Can I give you professional Army advice?
Go on.
Rico, I think you'll
Yeah.
agree with this.
Yes, I would agree, 100%.
Roger. Rhodes, what you need to do is you need to sprint.
Yeah.
Oh,
of
and do
course-
heavy
Uh,
squats.
You need to, wherever those micro tears are, you're weak in those areas, and you need to focus on that and whether lift or sprint or run heavily.
high impact.
I mean, that's my plan. Well, when I told him, I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, now that I know this, I was like, we'll see what the next step is. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do jujitsu later tonight. And he's like, wait, you're still doing that even though you're in pain? I'm like, I'm already in pain.
Yeah, it already hurts. Who gives a
The
fuck?
adrenaline is
I'm
the only
like,
thing
it
you-
hurts when I'm doing nothing. I might as well do something.
Yeah, might as well do something, and it hurts the same amount.
Yeah, but to
Yeah.
roll it back around, the
Roll
CBD
back.
thing would incredibly help me. But
The CBD thing.
I think they should obviously legalize all marijuana, right? And then legalizing
Agreed.
the other drugs, I'm iffy about it. But do I really think it would make it more prevalent, make it where more kids are doing cocaine and stuff? No, not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Do I think there's going to be companies making, brand cocaine and heroin?
See, that's the problem. Is yes, because look at the tobacco industry.
yeah, they
The
are
tobacco
already
industry.
spending billions
Look,
on there.
If you legalize it, they're going to do it. And
They
if
took
someone
a cartoon camel and made it seem cool to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that the cocaine industry under a libertarian president is going to be like, oh, look at this cartoon camel, and that cartoon camel is just going to be like, ah!
No. They'll make it better. They'll make it come in like little vials. They'll make it look less seedy. 100%. You know that. They're going to make it look less seedy because they did it with marijuana. They started advertising the edibles. They
If you
started
don't,
doing
if you
the
don't
oils.
snort cocaine off of a toilet seat, you're not doing cocaine correctly. That's it.
When Marlboro opens up their cocaine factory, they're not going
You-
to have that commercial.
You sold out.
It's not going to be a camel, first off. It's going to be a snowman and in a Hawaiian shirt.
Frosty the Snowman, super fucking high.
And he's just going to like tap out his top hat or something like that in a perfect line.
And everybody's just in the air.
An anteater.
Ooh, an anteater's good. I think
Not
I like
bad.
the sound better though.
Not bad. An elephant?
An elephant.
Doing a monster line with his trunk?
Oh, Jesus. It'll never forget.
Yeah, because it will never sleep.
Yeah, 'cause it's going to be dead. Don't do fucking drugs.
But I mean, I don't know. That's pretty much the only thing I don't really agree with when it comes to Snuffy the Vamp Coke Slayer. That's really the only platform that I really don't agree with.
I don't see why though, because if you legalize it, then you have a situation.
I think it's just the concept of the brain of it when you hear it.
Think about
it's
it
just like when you heard the defund education, like your brain does a thing where it assumes.
But if you think about it,
when I sit and I think about it, it makes sense.
You're going to be taking money away from these cartels that do things illegally. They're stepping on this shit, and they're putting
the cartels
out
are just going to become legal.
Yeah, and then they'll be able to, make sure things are better. But they won't be the only ones making money off of it unless they kill everybody else in the business. The senator on the lower section of the screen.
Oh, yes, the dude wearing the SSR.
The Casualty Collection Center Point. I don't know.
Nope.
That's Russian.
Yep. That just means Sovietism. Sovietism, is that a word?
Nope.
Sure.
Fuck. I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Yes, I do want all the animals on coke.
If they make cocaine legal, do you think they'll have legal cocaine animal fights?
They'll just put cocaine back in Coca-Cola.
So here's the other thing, because we talked about the drugs. Rico, I don't think you were on at this time, but Cody, when she was like, I want to defund or just like eliminate the Department of Education, neither one of us followed up with her about that.
No, Rico asked that question. Or was that with Spike that you asked that question?
That was Spike, yeah. Because
So I wasn't on with him.
Yeah.
So if you guys need to correct me, please do.
So Rico, explain what Spike told you.
What the fuck does that include?
Basically, it wasn't so much about removing.
It's the same concept as defund the police. It doesn't mean.
Yeah, like we're not going to kill the education system that's already on its fucking last legs anyway. It was more of right now there are more bureaucrats to students than there are teachers to students. So it's about removing that bloat in order to make the system better.
Put power in the states. So back in the states and not a federal line of education.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in the states, and then they can then deem what their education standard is. And then I brought up the war of northern aggression. He was like, yeah, that's a side effect of that. Is because now you'll have different states teaching different things.
As someone who was in high school in the late 90s and early 2000s, I don't know what the war of northern aggression is.
That's because we're from the north.
That's because we're from the north.
You and I. This guy over here.
That's
also north.
Ignorant.
I only know it because of my Texas friends. We also taught it as the Civil War in Idaho. We taught that we didn't know what it was until it was done, but it was the Civil War.
That's ignorant.
Yeah, but you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that if you go down to the state, but then they'll be able to allocate their funds more towards the education.
I understand.
So I actually agree with it. I agree with that.
I would really. So I watched like 25 minutes of the interview with Spike.
Mm-hmm.
I really would like to talk to him before the election. I really would, because obviously Joe can't give us that much time. She can't. She's being pulled 1,000 different ways. Yeah. He came across so intelligent and well spoken. And I think we can get more of his time. I would really like to pick that man's brain about a lot of things.
Well, immediately as we started talking to him, and we were talking to him pre-record, and then we were going into it, I immediately knew, I was like, that this is a first Spike conversation. Like,
that's what I mean.
You guys would do great talking.
I want to sit there and talk to him as, hey, I voted for Trump this last time. I plan on voting for Trump this next time. Obviously, like, I'm not crazy about a lot of the stuff he's done. He's grown the government. I'm a conservative. Why would I continue to vote for this type of person? And I want to talk to someone who can tell me, hey, this is why you shouldn't vote for that person. This is why you should vote for this person.
Yeah, no, so that is in the books. We're gonna try to get him back on. As it gets closer, it's gonna get more insane. So I'm gonna try to shoot for October. Beginning of October, see if we can do it. I got to talk to Brian and see what we can do. But that is definitely in the tracks to get done.
Yeah,
But-
I'd really like to.
No, I would agree. So there were a lot of good points. The education thing was one of them, and I actually agree with that, and I think that's a point. And then we brought it up, but we didn't really elaborate on it. And as I keep seeing it on all the memes and in the chat, people keep talking about defund all the alphabet agencies, FBI, CIA, ATF, all of that.
ATF is what she brought up on our show.
Yeah, so
she brought up ATF.
Their
numerous
platform
times.
talks about the ATF, and they don't bring up FBI and CIA. All the other libertarians, they talk about the FBI, CIA, ATF, all that, all DEA, all coming together. But Spike and Joe, they mainly talk about the ATF, which I understand.
Totally.
Like she said, what's the point of alcohol? I don't know how alcohol has anything to do with firearms and tobacco.
Right? What did she say about it? It was very interesting. And
I
it was
can't
also
remember. I think I was clicking over.
she said
Hosting
something
is
like
hard,
that.
people, because like you're looking up questions, you're trying to listen at the same time, and it's difficult. That's why
That's
Joe
why-
Rogan has another dude in another room doing that shit.
That's why both of them should just let me host. All right, because they all take care of the back of the end shit, and I don't. I just show up every now and then, and I provide a very pretty face. And now that I have a chair, all right,
Coming up.
I have a wrestling belt.
Hey.
All right. So it's funny because as she talked about that, I just watched the Waco series on Netflix.
Blast. That was a pretty good movie or series. It was a series, right?
I haven't
Movie
watched
series,
it
maybe?
yet.
It was
a
like
series.
It was a 6-episode series, right?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, it
talked
was a
about the ATF.
mini-series.
And it basically made it look like the ATF was this little brother to the FBI. And as soon as the ATF fucked up, the FBI would come in and then, in that instance, fuck up more. But that's how it painted the ATF.
Yeah.
And so I had just come off watching this series on Netflix with my European wife, who's like, and I need to explain everything to her. I was like, oh no, this is what happened, and this is what was going on in the country
By
at
the
that
way,
time.
there's no one better to be married to if she has those questions about getting involved with the United States and stuff, because you're able to explain this.
Yes, because I was there. I was alive.
Yeah, and like,
so
you're very into the political, social realm of it, so you can
Yes.
explain it in a way. Like, if I had married a foreigner and we'd been watching this stuff, she'd be like, "So what's with the ATF?" I'd be like, "It's a government agency over alcohol, tobacco, and firearms." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Google that shit."
Exactly. We'll
We'll both learn
I'll
today.
I'll be like Janet Reno was the attorney general under
Yes.
President Bill Clinton.
Names and shit.
This was a big deal because Jonestown just happened not that long ago, and people were, so we're watching this, and I'm watching this documentary, and at the end of it, obviously what happens, and I got emotional at the end of that show, because you watch the end of that series and that shit should not happen in our country.
Yeah.
And I told her that, and I got upset. I had a cigarette in the backyard, and I got upset, and I was like, that should not be representative, especially the fact that here's a Hungarian who's learning about America, and she's like, holy shit, that's part of your history, and that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but in the back of your mind, you're also like, "Oh, you think this is a bad part of my history?"
Also that, but that's recent.
But there's more.
That's recent history, though.
Yes.
We don't go into the. Oh, by the way, during World War II, we put Japanese in internment camps or anything like that.
You just go
Also-
in like a 5-year increment of just dumb shit.
Also, this is a bad episode to talk about that. Why I'm wearing my USSR shirt. Thank you so much. You're really fucking me here. As literally the person who on this podcast who is like, I love America and I will burn the world so that we can survive. I'm wearing my USSR shirt, and you're sitting there like, hey, what'd you think of America? And I was like, I was really disappointed in it. I was really bummed by it. But like,
Hey, CID.
yeah, right? I'm just gonna knock on my door and be like,
Hold on. Let me get into my iReport app right now. Mhm.
so
ATF.
coming off of that series and me actually like feeling something, I'm serious. If you have Netflix, go watch Waco. It's unbelievable. There's I think the podcast American Scandal or American History Tellers goes into that as well.
I think so.
Awesome. Both those podcasts, I obviously we're not getting paid by anybody because we're all fucking poor army people. Go listen to both of those. One of those. One of those. Yeah, exactly.
If you'd like us to share your mattresses and your dollar
exactly. Hey, if you're Casper or Dollar Shave, exactly. If you're one of those companies who advertise ExpressVPN.
Have you tried Nord or maybe even Honey? This simple browser has saved all of our listeners thousands of dollars.
All right, guys, you guys know we don't sponsor anything that we personally don't like. So I want to bring you guys today Harry's Razor.
Yo, fuck them. They don't deliver to Germany. And they make German razors. The razors are made in Germany. Whatever. Anyway, so this Netflix series, Waco, and then the one podcast, I think it's American Scandal or American History Tellers. It's one of the Wondery podcasts. It's really good. We're not getting paid by anybody. I just think it's really good. Mm-hmm. It made me think about that. And then for her to specifically say the ATF, and I was like, oh, you mean the FBI's little brother.
I thought you were going to go a little darker on that.
No. I told Cody, I was like, I'm going to watch my mouth. We have a larger viewing and listening audience now. So I'm going to try to watch.
I like how we went from 2 episodes of high-profile people with 200 people watching, and then we go back to an episode of just the 3 of us, and we have 7.
Yeah, they're like, it's Joe Biden. I don't care if Joe Biden's not on.
All of the extra 200 people that we had followed due to the libertarian stuff, they like looked at it like, oh, no one's special? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Which is fine. They'll come back. Maybe.
You'll be back.
You'll be back.
Yeah. So it was interesting. It was a great conversation with her. And at the end of it, I was like, wow, that was a really good conversation. It made me think about certain things. I want to go. And then watching the interview with Spike, I was like, oh, I wish I could have been there to talk to him.
That would have been a good one. That would have been a really good one.
I mean, there's a premise for that. And I mean, the ATF makes sense why you would want to abolish it. Okay.
What do you do?
FBI, CIA, I kind of feel like they do important things.
Why do I have to spend $200 for a tax stamp to put a silencer in my weapon? Why can I not cut my barrel less than 16 inches? I got to pay for another tax stamp per weapon.
But that's the thing.
mean, I agree.
Why are you paying for these things?
I already own this thing that I can't show you because we might get canceled.
No, we 100% get canceled.
Mark, figure it out.
Look at you, Zuckerberg.
Figure it out, Zuckerberg.
So my new desk cover that is laser engraved that says "Send It" that came in. Should I not post that because I wanted to show the world that?
That's actually kind of cool.
I think you post pieces. You just can't post the whole thing.
Yeah, and actually, the fact that
like Colin Noir, he does a bunch of videos like showing him shooting guns all the time.
But he gets paid by outside sources, probably.
So he has outside sponsors, and they don't shut down his videos. But I've seen people posting on like some of the Second Amendment groups that I'm in. Like they'll post a picture of their gun, and they'll get shut down by Facebook. But then these firearm fucking spokespeople like Demolition Ranch stuff, they have videos all over.
God, I'm so in lesbians with that dude.
But here's the thing.
You said you're a lesbian?
Yeah, I'm in lesbians with that dude. I've watched probably almost every episode at this point. He has taught me so much. I just want to hang out with him for a day.
He's in San Antonio.
I know.
Real close.
But here's the thing: like Zuckerberg is getting shit on by the other side because he's not. He's sitting there going, "I'm not going to not allow, certain things on Facebook." So you're sitting there,
fun though. He's getting shit on by both sides, which it's super interesting because a while ago the conspiracy right side, they were shitting on him because they're like, oh, he's limiting Republicans, like during the election. They were saying Facebook was winning. And then now the left side's going after him because he's catering to the right. But then he's also limiting right side stuff. Both sides are shitting on him. And I don't think either one understands that that's not how a conspiracy works.
He's not catering to anyone. He's just saying, I'm not going to limit this, people. So the right's like, good, that's what you're not supposed to be doing. And the left is going, no, you should be limiting the speech of these people because we don't agree with them. And we're just going to label them racists or something else like that. And then that's how you should be discriminating against them. Oh,
see, but the right side's getting pissed off too because they're being limited for certain shit that they're saying because it's community fucking rules.
But oh God, is that right side being inappropriate?
Huh?
Is that right side who's complaining being inappropriate?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It never shows, because it never explains as to why they canceled you. It just says, we removed this.
Yeah.
Community guidelines.
Yeah.
And then people show that. So it never shows what that person said. That person said really ignorant shit.
Or showed their guns on their podcast.
That one I'm not sure about. But no,
don't do that.
People on both sides are shitting on them. And it's just like...
hold on. It's the opposite.
Yep.
Rico, I see those eyes.
I saw the barrel. Put it back.
I see those eyes.
But so it's the same thing with the COVID shit.
You're gonna have the fucking MPs show up tonight.
Right? It's the same thing with the COVID shit. They both sides are claiming like conspiracies, but neither one of them understands that that's not how conspiracies work.
Yes.
You both can't have a conspiracy against how the other side is fucking you over when you both have it.
Yes.
Like that, you mute each other out. You can't, like the right side saying Fauci is trying to oppress and all sorts of shit, and then they're trying to use the election, the COVID shit take over the election, and then the left side is saying the same shit. I'm like, hold on. The right thinks the left's trying to use it to take over the election, even though blue states are currently shutting down. And then liberals are saying that the right is trying to use it to take over the election. You both are thinking the same shit about each other. That's not how this works.
Let me ask you something. Is Biden going to use Corona as an excuse not to debate Trump?
No.
Really?
Oh, so hold on. I'm going at it like a level-headed person as to reasons why.
Wrong call.
Yeah, that was a wrong call. Like
level-headed situation.
Reasons why, like being too close, distance, podium's cool, or you do it virtually, also plausible.
Yep.
Do I think it's plausible that his campaign will? Yeah, most definitely.
I think they will.
Because obviously,
they are afraid.
President Trump's campaign's not afraid of ever putting him in front of a camera.
They can't wait to have him debate Joe Biden.
Oh no!
And I think Joe Biden is so afraid, and I get it. Over the past couple of weeks,
intimidating in a way of nonsense, and he commands the arena with nothingness. That Biden, if he is in that altered headspace of not really being able to be present and make sense, President Trump's going to destroy him.
He will,
and not because he's a good debater and or knows what he's talking about.
No,
it's just because he's President Donald Trump, and in lack of those two things of knowing things and being able to speak correctly, he talks anyway. So he's fantastic during debate because he makes nonsense and yells at you.
But he's also, even though he doesn't have power to do so, he's also trying to.
So basically, a staff sergeant.
I was just hold on. What were you gonna say, Rico?
So I think there's fear on both sides, because even though President Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to do so, he's attempting to suggest about delaying the elections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it's kind of a big deal. Are we at the last time, or do we have a king in power now, or are we never going to have another?
No. Real quick before we continue with this.
Never.
This gentleman from Korea, thank you for finding the podcast. Thank you for watching us.
Hey, that's my dude.
You know this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? How do you know a Korean?
Stop calling him out, Cody. Just let him enjoy the fucking podcast.
I know Koreans. He doesn't know Korean.
I'm a celebrity now. A small celebrity.
It's the TikTok fame.
Kuchar, he has a great cooking channel. He He brings food out to us to something equivalent to staff duty or CQ. They try it. He does it with a very minimal setup. I like this guy.
That's dope as shit. That's dope. Thank you, Kuchar. That's dope as fuck. You sound like a cool guy. By the way, if you just want to ship me some yaki, that'd be great. It'll hold up in the mail. It's fine.
You're right. This is a group of guys.
Correct.
Just so y'all know, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see any of the comments.
Can you see how much I'm sweating because my damn air conditioner doesn't work in Texas?
Oh, it's a good thing it's not the middle of the summer. Oh, wait.
But so, with that, talking about the debates, obviously the President Trump's campaign, they are using, or I think it is very plausible that they're going to end up using, and they still are right now, the pandemic as a reason to hold off the election.
Yeah.
Oh, just like everybody else is using the pandemic not to go to work. Roger.
I can't even get license plates for my damn cars.
Go to work.
So he's
saying to work.
So he's saying that obviously we can't do polling places. Okay. But he's saying because we can't do polling places, we can't do mail-in.
I do not mean to be talking over you, Cody, but
yes,
I am angered. I have been at work for months. It is regular basis. It is business as usual. Go to work, you fucking people.
That's why they finally graced you with that corporal, because you've been doing the right thing, showing up every day in the middle of a pandemic.
Go to work. Go to work.
Hey, Firth. Just because your boss in your job has been forcing you to go to work during a pandemic doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
My boss is your boss, you son of a...
Yeah, and the motherfucker's been forcing me to go too.
I've been working a lot.
Doesn't mean that we should be.
I'm just so tired. I listen to these other podcasts and YouTubers, and they're just like, week 12 of quarantine. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
No, whenever they talk about, how's your quarantine going? I'm like, motherfucker's been on quarantine?
What are you talking about? Go to work. Put a mask on. Don't go near people if you have to. Go to work.
Hey, Rambo.
Go to work.
Right now, during a massive unemployment crisis, is not the time to be bragging about your DD-214.
Me and Sherman, we were at a park here on post, and we were just thinking, what if we both weren't in the army during this time? And it would have been difficult.
Our plan was me and Ashley. We were like, we're gonna get out, go home, do the National Guard thing, get my degree, and I'll come back in. And it's coming up to my reenlistment window, and she's like, "So we're gonna reenlist, right?" I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking reenlist."
Hell yeah!
Fine. That's fine.
Because we go back to fucking Idaho, which is not doing great right now. The housing market is impossible. Getting a job is impossible. And what am I going to fucking do? Get an OnlyFans? No one's going to watch me.
You know what would help? You know what would help? If businesses employed people again and not just went, we're going to use the excuse of a pandemic.
How is it an excuse? It's a pandemic.
No, it's not.
How is it not? Let's get into this. Fuck you, Ferg. What are we doing?
We're only supposed to go an hour. We're at 54 minutes right now.
Fuck
don't
off, Rico.
care.
It's not that hot.
I don't care. Rico's literally melting.
As it just gets hotter.
Was there a
I-
nuke in the distance?
I have been going to
don't
work.
bite your tongue. Let's go for this.
I have been going to work for
Yes.
months and months and months as business as usual.
Just
Just like
the Army
everybody
gives a shit
should
about
have
your
been.
health.
I don't care. I don't care if it's the Army or if it's somebody else. Go to work. Put a mask on if you have to. And if you have to, socially distance. Because guess what? That's a fucked up phrase. All right?
So you're
Go to
correct. The masks help. Socially distancing helps. People
Oh,
can go back to work with these things in place. But think
go
about
back to work.
Think about it.
Stop using this disease. I'm sorry. You have a strong cold. All right?
It's not just a strong cold.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have a respiratory disease. Okay?
Yes,
Guess what?
Which shreds your lungs, causes cardiovascular issues, which is why they're not allowing people to enlist into the Army if you've had
I get it.
COVID-19.
I get it. And trust me, right now,
It murders
my boss-
people.
My boss would be yelling at me. But do not think that this is not a common thought process throughout the entire world.
Well, yes,
All
it
right?
is. Doesn't mean it's the right one.
Is this
Just
the
because people,
Is this the Spanish flu?
it could be.
I don't pay attention.
No, it can't be. It's a strong cold.
That is
I get it.
murdering
I get it.
people.
I get it. So does the flu, Cody.
Yeah, but we have
So does the
vaccines for
flu.
that.
And so we do too.
No,
And
the
it's-
World Health Organization, they forecast the wrong strain every year for as far back as I can remember. So every time somebody gets a flu vaccination, it's for the wrong one.
It's
Yeah,
for the
so people
wrong
do
year.
die from the flu, but COVID-19 has symptoms and secondary illnesses that are unseen. It's not just causing respiratory issue. People who have had it, right? They had it for the 2 weeks. They may have had minor and or major symptoms. Once it's done and out of
I
their
don't know why
body,
I don't know why I got angry and pulled off my wedding ring.
I don't know. You want to fight?
I was just like, fuck it.
I'll meet you halfway, bitch. Let's go to
I don't know,
Greenland.
man. I get it. And there's going to be people who watch and are like, I had a cousin die of COVID-19. No, you didn't. You had a COVID-19. You had a cousin who died of something else, and then COVID-19 just exasperated it. I'm sorry.
No, people are dying. Okay, so now get me fired up. This is not a
fine.
conspiracy. This is not false tests. Yes, maybe they are saying that some deaths are COVID-19 related because they had diabetes or emphysema and they caught COVID-19 and it made it worse. Okay, I will understand that maybe they are doing that, but COVID-19 is an actual disease. It is actually killing people. It is causing physiological issues past just what COVID-19 is. And it is extremely dangerous.
Oh, my God.
But at least
I don't
you
care about COVID anymore. I'm over
are
COVID.
wearing a fucking mask like a normal person. But if the Army wasn't requiring you to wear a mask, would you wear one?
Probably not.
What? No.
Why?
No. Why? Because I didn't do it. I lasted till I was 36 years old without wearing a mask before that. And guess what? When somebody sneezed next to me, I went, God bless you. And they went, thank you. And I didn't go, oh, shit, fuck, God damn it. Now I've got this disease that I can't get rid of.
So it can be cured with a bless you. So religion over mask is what you're saying.
I don't know why people can't see the severity of this.
I don't mind. Honestly, on this podcast, I will say this. I don't mind being the idiot who sits here and I'm sitting here going, I don't get it. And everybody can tell me this is the severity. Oh my God, it's a respiratory disease and it's a very big deal. And it's like the next Black Plague. No, it's not.
I wouldn't say it's like the Black Plague, and I wouldn't say that it is currently on the same route as the Spanish flu. But even with the Spanish flu, they took the same precautions. They weren't just like, oh, by the way, Spanish flu going about.
Oh,
Don't
yeah?
worry about it. You might
Social
not catch it.
with masks.
Did the Spanish flu be like, oh, social distance? I can't stand that term.
So they
I
didn't
can't
call it
st-
social
and-
distancing,
I'm
but they were
seriously-
shutting down
Cody,
factories. They
Cody,
were.
There are people that like tattoo that on their chest. That
Social distancing?
term, oh my God. It
But okay,
fucking
so
frustrates me.
outside of the cringiness of the word,
Or
does
phrase.
it make sense?
No.
It doesn't.
Okay, so what if do I have to social distance while I wear a mask?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Okay.
you should just
Hey,
because
hey,
for
you know
one,
what? Listen
you
to
shouldn't
the
be up in
medical
people's
experts.
spaces.
What the fuck do I know? I'm a socialist.
So, according to the medical experts, you do not need to social distance if you are wearing a mask. It is just a good thing to practice either way.
I tuned in to a MLB.TV broadcast, right?
Why?
And it
Baseball.
was, first of all, I love baseball. And it was the
He's right.
It was the Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers. And I was like, oh, I used to live in Phoenix. Let's watch the Diamondbacks one. And the broadcasters are being split screened because they can't sit next to each other.
Yes.
Hey, we're social distancing right now. We've been doing this for like a year.
What is so hard to understand? Don't be up in someone's face. Don't be breathing in their face. You don't know if that person has it. You don't know if that person can give it to you and then take it home to someone who's immunocompromised.
Standing in the shop at the other day, I thought to myself, I wouldn't mind if they increased the amount of distance. I feel like 6 feet is too close. I'm really comfortable not having people right up on top of me.
So am I.
So
And
I
people still
agree.
don't fucking
Actually, I agree. I think this is a complete overreaction to something that is a I'm not going to say a fake disease, but an overblown disease.
But
All
why
right?
do you think it's a fake disease? Why are you so set on writing in fucking ignorance
I
and
just
just
said
being like, I'm going to be dumb and not look at the fucking proof?
I just said it wasn't a fake disease.
But then
But-
you're like,
Yes. This is a complete overreaction. Right now, we can PT no more than 5 people. Why? Why? Why can no more than 5 people PT together? Because someone made that decision.
Yeah.
No, for no reason other than 5 sounds like a good number.
well,
No one
that's
has
just the
any
army
clue.
finding loopholes.
But that's all everything has been. It's just been. People have lost their jobs because small businesses can't continue to do business because the government is saying COVID is such a devastating disease that you cannot open your doors to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It is not that bad.
So why are they though? So what's the alternative reason besides just saying that they're fucked up and they're wrong? Why what's their motivation?
They're preparing us for lockdown during the
So I'll be honest with you. Like some of the stuff that I've read online, they're like, all this is the government getting you ready to run you. You know, is the government getting you ready to make the rules to be like, this is when you have to be home. This is it. I'm not saying I believe that shit.
Well, yeah,
But, like-
anyone can make a conspiracy sound convincing, but what's the alternative? What is the reasoning as to why they are wanting to shut down jobs and keep everyone distanced? What would be the reasoning behind it? It
I
can't
don't
be
know.
that a whole country, a whole system is just overreacting. Or let's say the whole world is overreacting. And you're the only motherfucker with the sense to be like, this is nonsense.
I mean, I'm not the only motherfucker.
I know
You know,
you're not.
I'm just the idiot between 3 idiots
Yes.
who's going, maybe this isn't as bad. And I get it. And you deal with this on a daily basis. I don't, because guess what? My job is business as usual.
Hope you had a good date night, Katana.
That's just because the army doesn't give a shit.
And guess what? We're okay.
For now, but also Germany's. So listen, Germany's numbers are down. Germany's not as bad as the rest of the United States.
Germany's also a tiny country.
Yes. It's not as bad over there. So you guys are open to different things than the rest of the United States. We're on restriction. We can only go certain places because
So are we.
Yes, but your numbers are lower. If Florida was a country, Florida would have the worst percentages in the entire world.
Why does everyone use Florida? Florida's huge. Why doesn't anybody use Nebraska? Why not use Nebraska?
That's good. No one's in Nebraska.
No, because Florida is the
South
actual
Dakota.
hotspot right now. There's no point in using Nebraska because their numbers are low.
Exactly. Because their numbers are low.
There are
Yeah,
more-
so is
You
Idaho's.
wanna
We have
bring it-
2 million people in the whole state.
Oh, that's fine. And how many have COVID?
A decent amount. They actually just re-shut down.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
10
it's
people got
happening.
COVID. 10 people coughed in the hospital.
But that's
And
all
they were
it takes. So all
Shut
it
it down.
takes
Wrap it up.
for people to go back to work is maintain these guidelines, not open it up like fucking Florida did too soon, and their numbers shot. If they would have maintained all of the precautions, then you can open up on a regular basis and have people go back to work.
Oh my God! The precautions.
What?
I'm
Go
laughing at
back
what-
to work. Go back to work. This is what we're talking about. We got carried away.
But what if
Okay.
people can't go back to work because they have
course
their
you
kid
can.
at home with something that'll make it worse?
But obviously, your kids in summer school are in summer. But in September, next month, send them to school.
Oh, with immunocompromised?
And teachers don't even want to teach. Like it's like every morning I watch the news. All I see is the teachers. They don't want to teach in school.
Everybody is using this as an excuse not to go to work.
For
And
some
you know
reason,
what?
they don't teach online.
Especially, it's the union jobs. It's the union jobs that still get paid, and they go, "Oh, I'm finding a reason not to go back to work." And they go, and the union goes, "Oh, that's great. Still pay them." It's all these jobs that just go, "Oh, no, we need an appointment for this." And no, if you miss that, you need to reschedule your appointment, or you need to. It's people are using it as an excuse not to work, and yet you have people being laid off. You have people being laid off and not being able to go to work when they want to because of this.
Or these people just don't want to go to work because they don't want to die.
No,
No, it has to be
No.
the other one.
I think
Cody, what is the fucking death rate of this disease? 0? What is it? No. Tell me. It's 0 point what? Because I guarantee you it's not a number point something. It's 0 point what? 0.15?
Oh, I got you. Hold on.
Please do. I didn't mean to get that aggressive. I did not mean to get in that.
Yes, you
camera.
did.
No, I didn't, because I saw your eyes, and I was not. I apologize.
Hey, it's fine. But you fucking lucky I'm in Texas.
that's okay. He'll be in Texas soon. Once they bring the striker brigade either back to fucking.
Wait until
Shut
your ass
up.
come. Wait
Shut
till your
up.
ass gets to Port Hood.
Yeah,
You're gonna disappear next,
Shut up.
motherfucker.
The moment you motherfuckers come to Bliss, so they bring the strikers back here. I'm doing a 4187.
Fuck up.
The devil you know.
That's how I feel. I'd rather go back.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just getting straight numbers. I can't find a percentage.
Actually, internet. While Cody's looking here,
Go ahead.
chat. Cody's looking for numbers that support his argument, and all he's doing right now is finding numbers that support my argument. So that's fine.
No.
We'll
I
give
didn't
him
say
that.
I'm
No,
finding
no,
numbers
it's
that
fine.
support your argument. I'm just finding numbers.
No,
I'm
no,
not
it's
finding
fine.
percentages.
It's fine.
You fuck.
What do you want to talk about first? You're in charge here now. Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna sit back. All right. Let's see what else.
So did Putin pay you to wear that shirt?
First of all, this is from the Museum of Communism in the Czech Republic in Prague, which is actually a very interesting museum, especially when you go there with someone from a oppressed state And she's like, oh yeah, I remember this. And I was like, oof. Ooh, and then you start reading the history, and she's like, yeah, this is when I was born. And you were like, God damn it. But yeah, Museum of Communism in Prague, very interesting.
I preferred the Sex Museum of Prague. That was a good one.
I didn't see that one. I did see the Torture Museum in Prague.
I think they're close to each other.
It's actually just in the basement of the other.
I was just gonna say, it's the same building.
So,
oh God. Oh, hold on, internet. He found numbers that supported his argument. Go ahead.
No. So to clear it up, I never said that the percentage was high. You said the percentage was low. I was just saying it's numbers that you should take seriously. Overall, according to just Google, I didn't look at the CDC, which Google pulls from all the other places. The confirmed number in the United States is 4.67 million, right? Recovered 2.29 million and 156,000 deaths. So granted, I will accept the fact that that is a low number. But is that due to the fact that it is a bullshit disease or the fact that we somewhat took a handle of it?
Bullshit disease.
Well, of course you're going to fucking say that.
I don't, again,
no one watching was on the edge of their seat like, what is Ferk going to say? I wonder. I fucking wonder.
We did not plan on having this conversation, by the way, tonight. Okay?
Nope.
Tonight
you just pissed me off.
Tonight was supposed to be like a discussion of Spike and Joe being on.
So the last 2 episodes, guys, let's talk about that. And you know
I had no interest in like defending the conspiracy theory of COVID being a fake disease. Again, not a fake disease. Overblown disease, yes.
So, Ricky, yes. So, from what I was hearing, their percentages. So, due to population, if it's ratioed out, for a while, Florida was having a higher infection rate than other countries. It is currently has been surpassed. I think we're like 4th now in the world. So, it's different now. But there for like a couple of weeks, they did have the highest.
Florida did.
Yes.
Then what? Like what compared against what? The rest of the United States?
No, rest
the
of the world.
Yes. Florida's bigger than a lot of the countries over in this fucking continent.
No. It's not just, fucking Zimbabwe and Madagascar. The world.
I get it.
The rest of the world.
No. And that's why when like people are like, oh yeah, the Americans are having a real problem with COVID. And then you take America and you put it over the rest of the globe and you're like, oh, of course, we're bigger than all of it.
Yeah. But then you split it by the states and you do per capita.
But again,
right?
You split it by the states. Of course, Florida, Texas, California, New York. And that's why no one's talking about Nebraska, South Dakota, Maine.
Well, yeah, it's places of high population.
Of course it is.
That's the problem.
You're near people, and you go.
Nebraska's not the issue.
So Florida is.
So by shutting stuff down, you then make it to where people aren't side by side, so they're not commuting the disease. Do you see the point?
No, because people are constantly communicating diseases to each other.
Yeah, we're gross motherfuckers. I get it. But guess what? Staph's not killing me. Ringworm isn't going to kill me.
Cody, I go to the shop at. I buy a 6-pack of Coors Light because you know the Rockies.
Fancy.
And I go there and I'm wearing my mask, right? And they have their plastic board in front of the person who's going to ring me up. And at the end of the day, I'm going with my disgusting, filthy army fingers, and I go, here's my PIN code, and I need to sign this, and here you go. And now I have my beer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I just touch all that shit?
Oh no,
and
you're
so the
correct.
guy.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a foolproof fucking method. You take mitigations. They're mitigations. It's just like you have to go to the store. When I go, I wear a mask. right? Do I wear gloves? No, those are dumb. Okay, those are dumb. They don't do anything because you touch everything. And I get my groceries. I go to my house. If I wanted to be 100% no risk, then I would go to the store wearing a fucking hazmat suit, grab my groceries, check out. Before I get in my car, I would then wipe everything down, take hazmat suit off in the fucking parking lot of Walmart, burn it, go to my house, then take everything out of my car and put it in my house, which was already sanitized.
Cody?
Yes.
I want you to do that the next time you shop.
Go naked?
No, I want you to
hazmat
do everything you just described to me. The hazmat suit.
Because those are... So
that's how we prevent COVID. All right?
100%,
do you not care?
You are correct. So there are, and I understand what you're doing, you fuck. I know what you're doing here. Okay. There is a mitigation of risk that you take.
Oh, okay.
Here's what to do. If you want to kill COVID, you got to do this. Just come to my house, come to my office. My computer's giving off 300 degrees. My air conditioner doesn't work. My production lighting is giving off another 300 degrees.
It's true. I'm literally watching Rico get browner and browner.
Just take his sweat away.
That's all I'm doing.
He has yet to add anything, and he's just been sweating.
I'm just busy sweating because my air conditioner doesn't work in goddamn North Mexico.
Cody and I have been arguing for now. We could have just done this 2.5 hours ago.
Yep. We could. So all I'm saying is that there's a level of seriousness that I think should be applied to it. Now, do I want the economy to open back up? Do I want jobs to open back up? Yes. Am I listening blindly to every researcher and fucking scientist that they put up on TV? No. I'm using my brain as much as my brain works. Yeah, I'm trying to use my common sense.
We're finding that out tonight, aren't we?
If my brain works?
Yep. I got a swivel chair, and now I feel like Dr. Evil.
Let me Google something.
Oh, God.
To Nuremberg.
Are they letting him? Look at that! Look at the sweat cam.
You're gonna have to be quarantined for 14 days. Okay.
Oh,
and nothing will happen.
I'm coming straight on post. I'm choking you out and coughing in your face, and then we're both going to be on quarantine.
And nothing will happen. Nothing will change.
No, probably not, because I don't have it.
Of course not. No one does. Jesus Christ. 38 people in the fucking world have it. And then people are on Instagram being like, oh, this is my buddy. He's hooked up to this goddamn life-saving device because he has corona. I don't give a fuck.
So both my uncles had it. Neither of them required ventilators. Obviously, they're fine now.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Rico.
That's mean that not everyone is.
No, that is 100%
One of those uncles doesn't believe COVID's real, even though he had it.
Yeah, Herman Cain just got it too. He was at the last rally going, I'm not going to wear a mask. It's a hoax. It's bullshit. And then he got COVID, and now he's in the hospital.
No, he died.
Oh, did he die?
Yeah.
He's dead. I read that this morning.
Oh, yeah, no.
I got online.
And like 2 hours earlier, he was posting on Twitter about how it's bullshit.
I got online this morning, and I read Herman Cain died of COVID, and I was like, fuck.
You see that picture of that meme, famous last word, or it's in the news. Before the guy was stabbed, he said, "What are you going to do, stab me?" That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, Herman Cain did. He's like, it's all a hoax to go over the government for the election.
Also has cancer.
See, Herman Cain also has cancer, so it exacerbates the issue. He was more successful to having it.
Sorry, maybe it wasn't meant to be funny.
So hold on. And I mean this. I'm not trying to be funny. So Herman Cain died of cancer.
No. So if you...
I'm about to die of COVID.
Okay, so if you have cancer
and
I stab you, you died of cancer?
If I'm an insurance company, yes.
I didn't ask that question.
Well, I answered your question in a way that I felt comfortable. I answered
Fuck
your
your
question.
comfortability.
I answered your question like Joe Biden answers questions. And by that, I mean I didn't forget the question you asked.
Hey, Rambo, you see that story about that kid that did Russian roulette with a, what you call it? A regular gun, not a revolver?
I heard that. So, no, he didn't die of cancer. He died of COVID.
Thank you, Heather. These two animals next to me, they don't feel my pain.
We'll stop with the COVID conversation. Just wear a fucking mask.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands.
You don't get a choice for it because you have to fucking wear it because your chain of command will beat your dick if you don't. Everyone else who gets a freedom of choice, wear a mask because guess what? If I'm right and it's a deadly disease, it's an inconvenience on you to just wear a piece of cloth over your face that actually helps. If you're right, you're just wearing a fucking piece of cloth over your face and you're inconvenienced. It's not trying to take away your freedoms. It's not fucking oppressing you and getting you ready for the fucking slaughter. You're not getting driven to fucking Auschwitz. Wear a goddamn mask, you ignorant fucks. There you go.
I think it's super cool now. Then again, when I was a kid, Mortal Kombat was huge. Still is, but you know, everybody gets to wear a Mortal Kombat mask now. We're all Scorpion.
Yeah. Welcome to all Asian countries who wear masks 100% of the time.
So that's what I'm afraid of. That's exactly what I'm afraid of.
What, that Asian countries wear masks all the time?
That's not an acceptable answer. No.
But they just do it. It's a cultural thing. They just wear it because people are gross. It's not a mandate. The government doesn't say that in Korea you have to wear a mask.
Cody,
it's a cultural thing.
No, it's not. It's because people go around and go, oh, the air's dirty.
The air is dirty in Korea.
That's fine. Choose to wear a mask.
But so are people.
We've never worn masks in the history of this country. And then all of a sudden this happened. And now you're sitting there telling people to wear masks.
They did wear masks during the Spanish flu.
Choose to wear a mask.
They did wear masks during the Spanish flu.
And I'm going to bring, that's fine. That's fine, Rico. Shut the fuck up. You think you're inputting now for the first time in 10 seconds? Huh?
Put some ice on my head. I can go now. I'm not overheating yet.
I refuse. I refuse to accept that for the rest of my life, I'm going to go grocery shopping with a mask. I refuse
and I don't
to
think
do
it's
it.
going to be that way.
And me going, it's going to be and me going like, oh, the Chinese have done it. Oh, the Koreans have done it. I don't give a fuck. I've looked at that. I've looked at the YouTube videos of Shanghai Disney World, and they all stand in line with their masks on. And I remember looking at that going, oh my God, I never want to live like that. Ever.
But they're not oppressed. They're in China, so they're
really?
oppressed.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
They're in China. Sure? They're oppressed.
You're sure
it's not
Shanghai?
Because of the mask. It's not because of the mask, though.
I know.
It's because they live in China.
I know. I know. I just love the fact that your initial thing was like, they're not. They're oppressed. Yes, they are. It's Shanghai.
Not
Disney.
because of the mask. It's China. It's what they do.
I couldn't imagine.
But it was a freedom of choice to wear a mask, obviously. But that was just a normal fucking day back in 2014. They didn't have a pandemic there at the time or any illness that was broad spectrum. And they just wear masks because people are gross and they just don't want to catch your average flu and keep them out of work. Right?
But Cody, we've done for how long this country has been here. Like, we've made it this far.
With wearing masks in 1918 with the Spanish flu that Rico just showed?
Oh my God!
Okay, I didn't see it.
like there's never been a habit of doing so.
Well, no, and I don't think it should be a habit. This is it's not they're not saying that you have to wear a mask for the rest of your life.
I don't know, man.
No, I don't know. They're not saying that. They're saying wear it now until we get it under control because right now it is highly transmittable. And that's at least what the numbers are showing. Yes, not everyone is dying from it. It doesn't have a 50% kill rate, which I understand what you're getting with saying it's not the Spanish flu or the plague. I understand that. But it's highly transmittable, which means that a majority of the country and the world will be fine. But those people who are high risk of getting it and dying from it because they survived cancer, they have all these other autoimmune deficiencies, diabetes, asthma, they're at risk. So if you can do a minor thing like wear a fucking mask, and this is coming from a man who wears one 12 hours a fucking day in 100-degree heat.
Yeah, I wear one 24 hours a day with all the staff duty I pull.
Yes.
That's actually true.
Yes. I'm not pulling staff duty. Otherwise, I'd be wearing it. But outside, screening people all day, I'm wearing it. I do not get to take it off unless I go home or go to smoke a fucking cigarette.
Which I'm
at a
the
hospital,
MPs.
so I only get to do once when I go to lunch.
So here, if you have to wear a mask everywhere. I'm currently in this blissful place, and if you're like 24/7, you got to wear a mask if you're outside of your house as a soldier. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be walking down the street. If they catch you,
really?
yeah, if they catch you, the MPs will give you a citation. It goes to your chain of command. You get fucked.
See, no, Firth, I agree with you. That's a little much. That's not how the outside works.
That's
That's not how the outdoors works. If you're outside
crazy.
walking on the sidewalk, you don't need to wear a mask, right?
That's crazy.
Nope, not here.
As soon as I exit Walmart, I take my fucking mask off because I'm outside. And studies have been proven by several different colleges across the world that as soon as it goes out of your body in droplet form into the sun, the UV lights pretty much kill it almost instantaneously. Right?
There's been so much back and forth on that though.
And there has, but you
No
take
one
the
knows
majority.
what's happening.
No, but if you can just wear a mask, just wear it. That is my big thing. It's just people that refuse to wear it because it infringes upon their freedom.
So yes, if you're the person who's sitting there in front of your community government going like, I deserve to breathe God's air. Yes.
Oh,
throw on a mask.
like the
I don't
people
care.
in that community meeting in Florida?
Yes.
That's great.
That one. That's a terrible video. Florida, that is not very becoming of you.
I love Florida.
It's Florida. I pretty much think that's spot fucking on.
But it's exactly what we talked about with Joe last week. You should have every opportunity to go to a business and go, this business going, I do not require you to wear masks. And so you make the decision as an individual to go, I want to go here or I don't want to go here. That should be up to that person.
I mean, I agree, but then you have businesses because businesses are fucking terrible at times, and they're going to cater to the people who don't want to wear masks because that's their demographic of the area.
That's their decision. And that's the individual's decision.
I mean, yeah, I stand with that, but then I also, I stand with.
Oh yeah, I stand with Ricky.
I stand with the fact that it should be your decision. But what I don't understand is their reasoning. If someone can be like, I have a very good reason why I do not want to wear a mask. Okay. But no one can give that. No one can give a solid reason besides the fact that I don't want to and it's my freedom.
Probably.
Of course it's your fucking freedom.
That's your answer.
But it's not a good one because your freedom over the death of others, if, and I'm putting an if in there, if it's as deadly as everyone is saying, I'm putting an if in there for you.
It's not.
If it is, but there's a possibility there is.
The battle between a hospital medic who was on the line and a current line medic, and which one's drinking the sauce here? Which one?
I mean, I don't think that has much to say. I work in fucking gastroenterology, man.
Hospital medic.
But I'm constantly reading the research, and I'm looking.
Wow,
at this. I'm not
that
just.
sounds like a hospital medic.
Exactly. This is what for the last hour, you've been listening to a current line medic and a current hospital medic argue over being a line medic and a hospital medic.
Yeah. I'm the one with the time to read the education of this disease. Really? Because I've been packing up Connexes and fucking 4 meds to go to goddamn someplace in Asia that I can't tell you about yet, all right? And I've been spending all day doing that. And you've been sitting there fucking just, let me read your temperature. Oh, it's 117? Oh, this is busted. Go inside.
Hey, Firth, I'll switch you jobs.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Yeah, I'll 100% switch you jobs.
No, because when we were talking offline before Rico got on, and you were just like, all I do is this, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'll switch you jobs. I would rather go back to the line.
Oh, you should.
But
should.
What's 42 gets you, baby? 41.
so to close up,
Are you fucking tailgate medicine is fucking great.
it's
great.
So just to close up,
Because we don't
In
have
the
to
argument.
read.
let's
Yeah, go
end
ahead.
the
I'm
argument.
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
close up because I have to go downstairs and help my wife with gremlins.
And I'm pretty sure Rico is literally melting in front of
I
us.
lost 2 pounds just now.
You're welcome.
Ah!
So to close, yes, your personal freedom, good argument, right? But it's your freedom over someone's health if, and I say the if, because it could be very likely that it's not as bad as people are saying. But just as easily on the other spectrum, it could plausibly just be as likely with if you remove your ignorance a little bit, that it is as bad as what people are saying.
I find it hard to remove my ignorance.
This sounds like
Yes,
Couple
you
Wurst right
do.
now. Thanks for watching the show. Matt Wurst, other Matt Wurst, Rico, good night.
So my thing is that if you can find a way to help, just wear the mask. But also, this argument, right? Obviously, me and Firth did not find any middle ground on it.
No, not at all.
Which with some things you won't find any, which is fine. Am I going to unfriend Firth? No.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to the last episode of the podcast.
I think, if anything, this proves that you can have a conversation. You
Yes.
can disagree. You can call each other motherfuckers.
Yes.
That's just the army, though.
And still be.
No, it's anything though. Like,
It
so
should
this
be
is-
with any conversation because
This is a serious disagreement between the two of us, right?
the serious
And we're-
disagreement.
And I'm not going to change his mind. He's not going to change my mind. It's just like politics. And I don't mean to bring it back to politics. It's just like that. It's just like now if someone was just like, hey, I think President Trump is actually a good president. You have people like ending friendships and ending relationships about that stuff. And that needs to stop immediately.
Yeah.
That's not Trump's fault or anyone else's fault. That's your fault. You know? I always say, like, I dated a girl who I think that my wife was not the first
He
time.
was a boy. She was
yeah.
a girl.
Yeah, you know, I was a skater boy. I said, "See you later, boy."
Can I make it
You
any
know-
more obvious?
Like we would not have made it through the campaign, let alone Trump's presidency. How insane is that? That you let politics dictate your personal relationships. Don't stop it. Pull
And
your head out of your ass,
so
you dummies.
Why, and due to the political reasons people argue and they end friendships, and people use that as motives for a lot of stuff. And that goes back to the COVID-19 thing. People are using the same reasons for wearing masks or going outside on both sides.
Go to work.
They're using their political beliefs rather than use compassion, use understanding, use intelligence. Try to understand the best that you can. And that's mainly what this podcast has always been about. It's trying to be educated a little bit more and try to understand. I apologize if a bunch of you tuned out when we're going into our pandemic argument. Usually one person out of the three will be fired up and go into a rant of something. And Firth happened to piss me off. So,
Well, you know, that's what happens when you're wrong.
so like, you're lucky I fucking love you. You little shit. All right. So, Rico, do you have anything to add to the ending?
Sorry, I had to turn on the wipers here.
Sorry. Rico's registering some NSNs right now, so he's unavailable.
Well, that's been a great show, guys. Continue to like, share, subscribe. Wear masks. Don't wear masks. I don't fucking know.
From myself
And myself.
and his self and his fucking self.
And
Thank you
myself.
all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Prayers for Rico for some air conditioning.
Yo, how
Um,
about it?
yeah. Prayers for Rico.
I also
Hashtag
don't have
AC
air
Life.
There's the fire outside.
We love you guys. From myself, from Rico. Fuck you, Firth. Peace.